Hello and thank you for tuning into Cornea Revolution-Motwani LASIK. Up next, we have a couple that came out to see us from Texas. Originally, they came out to see for the husband's procedure, but to their discovery, the wife needed something done too. So if you feel like you're having some vision difficulties, you won't know until you come to see us. Stay tuned.
Well, hi there, this is Dr. Greg and I'm Monica Steiner, and we just flew in a couple of days ago from Allen, Texas, very, very close to Dallas. And we've been here, this is actually your third time over here.
Isn't that amazing? Yes.
Fascinating story, and I'll let you tell the story of how you even met Dr. Motwani and the Motwani LASIK Institute.
It's a bit of a journey. Mine was complex, was very nearsighted, read all the time as a kid, blind as a bat, -4 for people who know the numbers. But that was an early candidate for RK surgery, radiokeratotomy. My God, 35, 40 years ago when they put little cuts in your eye like a pizza. One eye took really well, it flattened it out. The other eye, not so much. A few years later, I became an early stage 3 candidate for what is now LASIK, but it was called PRK, actually.
And that was the two of us at the same time.
That was the two of us at the same time.
So that was the first time that I had anything done with my eyes. I mean, everything had been fine throughout. It was actually in college when my eyes started to go not too well, but this was back in the early 90s. So
about 91, somewhere
over
in there.
30 years ago.
But the results out of that, my eye, as the RK took well with this eye, not so much. So ended up having 4 procedures done during that particular time. The 4th one, though, I got the calculations right, 30 years of excellent results, vision 2020, 2015. But then I'm here, I found with age, oh my God, but with age, the cornea starts to bend and flex a little bit. So you have a little better vision, a little worse vision, a little better, a little worse, because of the RK weakening the structure of the cornea. Okay, so who am I going to find to fix that particular situation? I did probably a year's worth of research, something like that. Went to 3 or 4 different ophthalmologists in the Dallas, Texas area, and everyone, well, basically sucks for you, live with it. But I'm Monica and I both highly active, got stuff to do, places to be, so it really wasn't the great answer that I was looking for. So finally did some research that I found Dr. Motwani. There were a couple others in the United States that did this, but what actually brought me here in the first place then, couple things. I saw that he wrote papers, like actual legitimate bona fide research papers on the topic, which really intrigued me because I have a master's in psych and I noticed that to write papers, that takes an extra level of commitment beyond the clinical. So the other thing too, communication. When I contacted the office, because back in Dallas I'm a physician, well, chiropractor, acupuncturist myself, 30 years experience, but patient communication will make or break a relationship with a doctor or not. So after he communicated that, okay, I got weird eyes, can y'all do anything for me or not, that people got back to me in an excellent, excellent manner, and I spoke with him personally, and we talked it through a little bit. Here I am in the clinic today. Monica's was a little bit more straightforward.
Well, the thing with me, way back when I had the PRK, a lot of it was I worked in television, I had to read a teleprompter, and I found out that I couldn't. And so that's what made me do it to begin with. Had fantastic results with that. And it was when I came with Greg last year and he was going to have the procedure done himself. I remember being in the office with Dr. Motwani and telling him what had ended up happening. I thought that because it had been a trial, I'd been given one far side, sort of like a mono, one far, one near. And he said, no, that's not
just
what it was.
30 years of time.
30 years of time. What happened is that your dominant eye became your nearsighted eye, where it's supposed to be your farsighted, and vice versa. So what he ended up doing with me, he said, hey, this is not a very difficult procedure. We can correct and make that one eye that's supposed to be dominant back to being dominant again. And what that's going to do, because what I was getting is, there was a lot of a blurriness in being able to see the way I was supposed to see. And one eye, even though they were both working okay together, one was a lot more nearsighted, one was a lot more farsighted. He said, well, we need to reverse that slightly so that both eyes will be able to work a little bit better. And it was literally, I wasn't coming for the surgery, but I had so much confidence in what he said that day. He said, hey, let me work you up. And then literally it was, I've got us in my schedule. If you want, we'll do you right after Greg tomorrow. And I remember being on the beach thinking, okay, do I do this? Do I not? Do I do it? Do I not?
Yes.
Decided to do it. had to return a rental car because, of course, then we needed to get an Uber back and forth because we weren't going to be able to drive back. And went ahead and did it. That was the first procedure, which we had been told, okay, that first procedure is going to make sure that that cornea is the way it needs to be, and then you need to come back 3 months later to where we will put the powers in what the eye, is going to be. You had that done for you, I had that done for me. My result afterwards been very interesting because one of them is, we did this purposely to where there was going to be more of a mono. One would be more far-sighted, one would be more nearsighted, and now we're figuring out the best way to be able to combine those two. The great thing is that now I don't wear glasses at all right now. I didn't before, but I was starting to have to, especially to be able to read. Now I don't. Yes, there's a little bit of maybe blurriness one way or another, but I can see far with one of my eyes, I can see pretty close with the other, and they are the right eyes that are supposed to be for that. So, pretty pleased with some of that. We're back here with you. We're going to get something corrected a little bit, which is a good thing, actually.
Mine is the complexity, because there are a handful of people, I have special corneas, apparently, that the original doctor that did that found the same thing. That's why I did repeat procedures. So, yes, my cornea, near as you can tell, that is smooth. Oh, most beautiful cornea ward, looking pretty good. The refraction's a little more of a challenge, so we're working it through. And what I really like, and it's the highest professional regard, Doc, in my opinion, is very much a thinking man, can put stuff together, and I know enough about doctors. Everybody's professional, everybody's competent. Some people have that flair where extra things can take place, and that is why we are here. But so far, just as a general note, staff is great, location is great. San Diego's fun, you can do other things here as well. So our experience, we've come back, and we tell people, it's a matter of professional respect. I've also done some work with stem cells, like international level stem cells. Not that I do them, but I've been a recipient and have a connection with a particular company. But I absolutely recommend, the stem cells, to my knowledge, aren't done for visual correction, but they get that all the time. So you need to have somebody at the top tier level who can work with people who are interested in working with visual things in the same way they want regeneration from stem cells. So I've definitely tried to build a bridge between the companies and the clinic.
So anyway, we are extremely glad that we are here. We are going to see what happens over the next little bit.
Good choice of words.
Oh, really? Okay, thank you. But anyway, just wanted to say that this is, we have really enjoyed not just our time here, but the professionalism. And it is a new field, and it's a cutting edge field, and we feel that we are where the latest technology is when it comes to vision and eyes.
5 stars from us.